Hello, welcome back. This next session in the Mindset series is where we start taking deliberate action. By now, you'll have a really clear goal written down that you've spoken to Nat about and workshopped to refine the details. This is essential so we can start building out your very own roadmap and begin taking those important first steps to achieving what you've laid out. Because we're all about action here, I'm going to get you to jump straight into an activity today. In this activity, we're going to start managing change from a micro level, taking the goal you have and breaking it down into specific actions or habits that will occur on either a daily or weekly basis. So I want you to go ahead and grab your workbook now and let's get stuck in. So I want you to start by thinking about the next 7 days ahead of you. What are your top priorities? What behaviors do you need to begin practicing to help make you successful over the next 12 weeks and beyond? And what are the easiest or quickest things you can change immediately that will have the biggest return on investment? Write these down now, make them as specific as you can with clear, measurable outcomes attached to each one. Let me run you through a few examples to give you some ideas of your own. This week, I'm going to commit to 3 training sessions before work on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm going to increase my steps to 8,000 per day. I'm going to set aside 3 hours on a Sunday for food shopping and meal prep for the week ahead. And I'm going to get between 7 and 8 hours of sleep each night, including the weekend. Okay, your turn, keeping in mind that for now, this is only for the next 7 days. Pop this recording on hold while you jot yours down in your workbook. Now I want you to review the habits you've just listed out and take 5 minutes to reflect on the following questions. Number 1, what are the consequences of not doing the things that you set out to do? Number 2, is there anything you foresee getting in the way? Number 3, how might you mitigate these challenges before they happen in order to give yourself the best opportunity to complete everything on your list? And number 4, how confident are you that you'll be able to carry out these tasks successfully? 1 to 10, least to most. So I want you to rate your confidence levels. Now, before I get you to repeat this process for the remainder of the month, I want to touch on a few different ways you can give yourself the best chance of success when it comes to implementing these habits and actions throughout your week. First one is having your list of actions somewhere you know you'll see at least a couple of times a day. The more reminders, the better here. We want to make sure that they're always front of mind and very hard to forget. Then why not pull a friend or family member into doing it with you, or at least share with them what you're doing? There's nothing wrong with having your friends and loved ones backing you, especially on those days when things get tough. Why not also take time to prepare yourself and your environment at the beginning of each week? This might mean buying your groceries on a Sunday, scheduling your training in your diary, or having goal-related conversations with a friend or a partner to keep these new behaviors at the front of your mind. Make sure each week as well that you're setting clear intentions and expectations for yourself and preparing for any foreseeable challenges. For example, let's say you've got a wedding on the weekend, so you know you won't be able to train. Plan ahead and move your session to an alternate day to make sure you're still managing the X amount of days in the gym that you've set yourself out in your action plan. Then I want you to think about setting time aside to reflect at the end of each week. Now, if this doesn't come naturally to you, like it doesn't to many of us, I want you to get yourself a journal and come up with some reflective prompts to fall back on. For example, what went well? What could have gone better? What could you do better next week? Use these questions to delve into the week just gone so you can better prepare for the week ahead. And finally, is it important to hold yourself accountable? Yes, 100%. But also learn to practice self-compassion when things don't go exactly as you had in mind. Remember, there are only so many things we can control. There will inevitably be things you come up against in this process that are outside of that, and that's okay. Okay, let's talk about next steps. So, between now and your next coaching call with Nat, I want you to build out your action steps for the remainder of the month. So, repeat the whole process for the 4 weeks coming. And then use your next coaching call with Nat to workshop these. I want you to aim to master each habit or action before you begin adding to the list. It's very rare that you're going to hit everything perfectly in these first couple of weeks, and that's completely fine. Keep a checklist somewhere obvious and easily accessible so that you can physically tick these things off as you go. And remember, if something isn't going according to plan, have a look at these steps that you have in place and make the changes you need in order to give yourself the best chance of success. Okay, I'll see you next time for our final session in the Mindset series where we're going to delve a little bit deeper.